O eto, panoorin po natin. Galing mismo sa bunganga ni Paduano na yung mga resource person ay pwede talagang mai-contempt. Kaya nga itong mga DDS vlogger na inimbitahan nila, hindi sumipot dyan. O ito, panoorin po natin kung ano po yung mga pinag-yaw-yaw-yaw-yaw ni Paduano.
They will be cited in contempt, no? Cited in contempt in violation of paragraph A. Alam po ni Sekto, kasi former congressman, lawyer pa. Di ba? Absence without legal excuse in this committee po. Now, ang sinasabi ko lang po, just for the record, Mr. Chairman, malinaw po, we follow due process here. We have done due diligence. We invited them, we issue a show cause order, now we issue a subpoena ad testificandum. Now, in the next hearing, they should be present. Iwasan po sana natin magkaroon ng constitutional impasse po dito. No? Kasi if we wait for the Supreme Court and we will not do our constitutional duty here, there will be a problem. Kaya po I hope my good friend, the good lawyer, Secretary Bello, will advise his client to be present in the next hearing because we will be forced to impose our constitutional mandate at the same time our internal laws of the House. Section 11 of the internal laws, which is Section 4 contempt po. Anyway, Mr. Chairman, we have received a copy of several letters, no, coming from resource persons that was issued the show cause order during the February 4 hearing, Mr. Chairman. Now, most of these excuse letters citing almost the same, no, except for a few, almost the same reason why they should not be present in today's hearing. Now, let me take, for example, letter coming from a certain Richard Mata. He stated about questions of his base in Davao, and he has also filed a petition for certiorari in the Supreme Court. And he mentioned about lack of willful disobedience, etc., etc. Now, it is, Mr. Chairman, the same is in the case of other invited resource person issued the show cause order. They have filed a petition for certiorari in the Supreme Court, and they are not once again present in today's hearing. Well, in fact, some of them mentioned about that they should not be cited in contempt. And just for the record, I would just like to correct all those resource persons that replied, no, with regards to the show cause order by this honorable committee. We never cited them in contempt. We followed due process in this committee. Well, in fact, a lot of hearings in my own committee and even in the Quadcom, we follow and we do due diligence with regards to motion to cite in contempt a certain particular resource person. Now, Mr. Chairman, I'll just mention all those names, no, na nagpadala dito na hindi po dumalo ngayong araw na ito answering our show cause order. A certain Dr. Richard Mata, but Comsec, please take note that Dr. Richard Mata mentioned about a letter that was sent to his address in the person of Manuel Mata. In his letter, he asked this committee or the Comsec to kindly refrain from sending correspondence addressed to him at my given address, considering that he is a total stranger to me. So, ito pong a certain Manuel Mata, if he is invited, hindi po naka-address dapat kay Dr. Richard Mata. But then, Dr. Richard Mata is absent, no, in today's hearing. Second po, the letter coming from Ethel Pineda. The same po. And let me read, may I respectfully inform the committee that a petition for certiorari and a restraining order have been filed before the Supreme Court. This legal action pertains to inquiry that I was unable to attend. Concerning this, I shall await guidance from the Supreme Court. on the appropriate next steps. The same is true with Elizabeth Jo Cruz, Aaron Peña, Crisette Loretta Chu. But the Crisette Loretta Chu, I think he's not present today, but her counsel is present in the person of former congressman and former secretary of the Department of Labor and Employment, Secretary Congressman Silvio Bello. Sir, I will just ask the chairman that he will be given time after all of these admin matters, but still, we have to act on it based on the letter that was submitted to us. After I read all the reply letter po, then I will ask the chairman for you to explain why your client is present today.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be recognized, Your Honor?
After na lang po ng admin matters.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And the same is true with Susan Batalya. And Attorney Trixie Angeles. Mamaya po, I will just manifest with regards to Attorney Trixie on her interview. Then the same is Sas Rogando Sasot. Mary Jean Reyes po. The same. Okay, ano? Dami po. Doon po kay Mark Anthony de la Cruz Lopez. Now, Mr. Chairman, with all those reply coming from those resource persons mentioned, issued with the Siocos order, Mr. Chairman, may I respectfully move that we issue a subpoena ad testificandum for all those mentioned names that has officially received a copy of such Siocos order. So move, Mr. Chairman.
There is a motion to issue subpoena to all those mentioned by the Honorable Paduano for not attending and answering the Siocos order issued by the three committees. Duly seconded. Do I hear any objection from the members? Hearing none, the motion is carried.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Same is true with...
Your Honor, may I now be recognized, Your Honor?
Sandali po. Sir,
Meron
hindi pa ako tapos.
Okay.
Same is true with Miss Badoy and Mr. Eric Celes, Mr. Chairman. They have not replied to the Siocos order issued to them. So, I respectfully move once again, Mr. Chairman, to issue a subpoena ad testificandum to the mentioned name, Mr. Chairman. So move.
There's a motion to issue subpoena to Mr. Celis and Madam Badoy. Do I hear any objection to the motion? Hearing none, the motion is carried.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Now, Mr. Chairman, before Mr. Chair to recognize former Secretary Bello, let me read lang, Mr. Chairman, a manifestation with regards to all those invited resource person that was issued the Siocos order, and now they were issued the subpoena. First and foremost, Mr. Chairman, let me read lang question of jurisprudence with regards to inquiry in the aid of legislation. Now, Mr. Chairman, Standard Chartered Bank versus the Senate. Ito po in relation to subjudice rule. Napakalinaw po, and let me read. The mere filing of a criminal or administrative complaint before a court of quasi-judicial body should not automatically bar the conduct of legislative investigation. Otherwise, it will be extremely easy to subvert any intended inquiry by Congress through the convenient ploy of instituting a criminal or administrative complaint. Surely the exercise of sovereign legislative authority, of which the power of legislative inquiry is an essential component, cannot be made subordinate to a criminal or administrative investigation. And in this case, Mr. Chairman, the letter answer to the show cause order issued to all those resource person that was ordered for a subpoena anti-stickandum is not valid, Mr. Chairman, since Supreme Court mismo po nagsabi na it cannot be applied in inquiry in aid of legislation. And furthermore, Mr. Chairman, on Arnold Tesareno versus Neri of the Senate, let me quote, a legislative investigation in aid of legislation and court proceeding has different purposes. Magkaiba po. On one hand, courts conduct hearings or like adjudicative procedures to settle through the application of a law actual controversies arising between adverse litigants and involving demandable rights. On the other hand, inquiries in aid of legislation are an inter alia undertaken as tools to enable the legislative body to gather information and thus legislate wisely and effectively, and to determine whether there is a need to improve existing laws or enact new or remedial legislation, albeit inquiry need not result in any potential legislation. Ongoing judicial proceedings do not preclude congressional hearings in aid of legislation. Napakalinaw po na yung excuse letter o yung letter reply ng lahat ng mga resource person that was issued the subpoena in today's hearing is not acceptable and valid po. Now, and lastly, Mr. Chairman, let me read na lang po. Let me manifest with regards to the statement being made by Attorney Trixie Angeles in social media po. Allow me to proceed, Mr. Chairman.
You have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. While we acknowledge the right of Attorney Angeles to seek reprieve before the Supreme Court for an act which he believes will curtail her constitutionally granted right, clarification must be made to further justify the previous directive of this joint committee. Firstly, the joint committee issued the show cause order against Attorney Angeles not because of her non-attendance to our February 4, 2025 hearing. Hindi po dahil wala siya dito, kaya na-issuehan siya ng show cause order, but because of the content of the communication that she submitted before this committee, which directly challenges our jurisdiction to conduct inquiry in aid of legislation. We have a copy po of the letter sent to us by Attorney Trixie Angeles during the first hearing and invitation po. We would like to remind Attorney Angeles that as an officer of the court and a member of the legal profession, she is bound to respect and abide by the Constitution. And under Article 6, Section 21 of the Constitution, let me cite, the House of Representatives has the power to conduct inquiries in aid of legislation. Therefore, it is imperative upon Attorney Angeles to respect and acknowledge this authority as enshrined in our Constitution. Secondly, Mr. Chairman, the Joint Committee directed the Legal Department to study and consider filing possible disbarment case against Attorney Angeles because we believe that an officer of the court, she must conduct herself as a true advocate of law rather than being the one directly promoting its defiance. It must likewise be stressed that Attorney Angeles has a propensity of violating the legal profession's code of professional responsibility. Per records, Attorney Angeles has already been suspended by the Supreme Court in 2 occasions. First, in 2016, when she was suspended for 3 years because of her failure to act on a case of her client despite payment of legal fees, and again in 2023 when the court imposed a 6-month suspension against her for using abusive and inappropriate language in a submitted pleading. Considering the aforementioned, it is only but proper for this jurisdiction to examine whether a disbarment case should be filed against Attorney Angeles for constantly disregarding and violating the code of conduct being observed by all members of the bar. That's all, Mr. Chairman. For in the case of Attorney Trixie Cruz Angeles. Yes. Mr. Chairman, can we allow, in brief, Secretary Bello to manifest for on behalf of her client, his client?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Secretary Bello, you're recognized. You have the floor.
Thank you very much, Your Honors. Just for the record, Your Honor, may we enter our appearance together with my partner, Attorney Jose Aspiras, as counsel for Miss Crisette Laureta Chu, Your Honors. Before coming here, Your Honor, I received a letter signed by Miss Chu addressed to the chairman, the Honorable Congressman Dan Fernandez, explaining her reason for not attending this hearing, Your Honor, because she alleges that she is not a blogger, much less a purveyor of false news or fake news. As a matter of fact, Your Honor, Ms. Chu is a legitimate media practitioner and even a column editor of a national daily, which is the Manila Bulletin, Your Honors. On this basis, Your Honor, we offered to appear in her behalf today. And unfortunately or fortunately, we are also compelled, Your Honor, to enter our appearance in collaboration with Attorney G.P. Angeles, who is the counsel of the other alleged bloggers who filed a petition for certiorari and prohibition with a prayer for the issuance of a temporary restraining order, Your Honors. And because of this petition, Your Honor, it was our decision to advise them not to appear, because for them to appear, Your Honor, would be an abandonment of their petition filed before the Supreme Court for certiorari and prohibition, Your Honor. So, in order not to preempt this case, Your Honor, they opted not to appear. And as a matter of fact, Attorney Gonzales, I think, manifested in writing, Your Honor, that they are requesting for a resetting of this hearing so that they can attend later on without waiving their rights on the petition that they filed before the Supreme Court.
Mr. Chair.
Submitted, Your Honors.
Mr. Chair, may I just make an observation? Just
Is that in relation
Yes, exactly.
to the statements of Secretary Bello?
You're right, Mr. Chair.
Please, you have the floor.
Para sa kaalaman ng lahat, napanood ko po yung interview ni Miss Crisette Laureta Chu sa television, kung saan nga sinasaad na sila ay nag-file ng petisyon sa Supreme Court. Ano po? Pero sa aking pakiwari po ay nakakadismaya na pinangungunahan nila kung ano mangyayari sa komite na ito. Napakasimple lang naman. Wala naman tahasang nagsasabi na sila ay purveyors or fake news. Wala naman nagsasabi na sila ay hindi lehitimong journalist. In fact, hindi kilala po natin yan. Kung iniimbitan po siya ng House of Representatives ng komite na ito, ay ito ay sa kadahilan ng gusto nating malaman ang kanilang punto de vista sa problema nga ho ng paglaganap ng fake news. Para sa akin, merong elemento ng paranoia. Pinangungunahan ninyo, sana naman lang binigyan nyo kami ng pagkakataon. Dahil meron din naman dito sa komite at ang aming tanging hangarin, at least I can only speak for myself, and I also believe this is also the intention of my colleagues, is to find out ano ba ang problema na nangyayari nito? Because ang problema ho ng fake news hindi lang naman ho nakaka-apekto sa administrasyon o sa opposition, nakaka-apekto sa mga negosyo, sa mga private individuals. Nakakalungkot po, Mr. Chair, na sa puntong ito, ang mangyayari niyan, ang magiging dahilan na yung kanilang petisyon sa Supreme Court. Kumbaga, pinagtutuos ang kanilang petisyon laban sa ating kahilingan at imbitasyon na dumalo sila sa ating pagpupulong. Yun lamang po, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Chairman.
The Chairman Paduano, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chairman. Just to reply to the manifestation made by my good friend, our former colleague, Secretary Bello, na lawyer. Alam mo naman po, hindi ako lawyer, no? But of course, with due respect to the manifestation made by Sec Bello, first and foremost po, the hearing that was conducted last February 4 in this committee, mas naon na po invitation kaysa doon sa Supreme Court. At the same time, malinaw po na yung inquiry in aid of legislation in Congress, no, Senate and House of Representatives, sabi nga ng Supreme Court, is a different proceeding. Now, kaya sabi nga, doon sa Chartered Bank versus the Senate, malinaw po, ang sinasabi doon, you cannot use courts to subvert the constitutional mandate of the House of Representatives and this committee. Kaya po, ako, Mr. Chairman, ako po, I still stand with the subpoena anti-stificandum to be issued against those, or to all those mentioned names. And one of those is the client of former Congressman and Secretary Bello. Malinaw po, they only filed, well, in fact, you are not part of the filing of such certiorari in the Supreme Court. Iba po ang abogado doon, di ba, Sec?
I agree, Your Honor. I do not know. I don't disagree with your position. As a matter of fact, the filing of that petition before the Supreme Court was done by their counsel on record, Your Honor, Attorney Angeles. And the only reason why we agreed to that, for them not to come over, is for them not to render moot and academic that petition. So it's up for the Supreme Court to decide whether their petition for certiorari and prohibition has any legal basis, Your Honor.
Chairman, can I reply? Mr. Chairman, okay. With due respect to the position of the good lawyer, my good friend, Mr. Chairman, ganito po kasi. The issue of subpoena anti-stificandum, if they will not be present in the next hearing, and the excuse that will be sent once again to us is not valid, they might be cited in contempt. And doon na po, sa mga letter nila, citing Section 11, Paragraph A, yun na po, they will be cited in contempt, no? Cited in contempt in violation of Paragraph A. Alam po ni Secto, kasi former congressman, lawyer pa, di ba? Absence without legal excuse in this committee po. Now, ang sinasabi ko lang po, just for the record, Mr. Chairman, malinaw po, we follow due process here. We have done due diligence. We invited them, we issue a show cause order, now we issue a subpoena anti-stificandum. Now, in the next hearing, they should be present. Iwasan po sana natin magkaroon ng constitutional impasse po dito. No? Kasi if we wait for the Supreme Court and we will not do our constitutional duty here, there will be a problem. Kaya po I hope my good friend, the good lawyer, Secretary Bello, will advise his client to be present in the next hearing because we will be forced to impose our constitutional mandate at the same time our internal laws of the House, Section 11 of the internal laws, which is Section for contempt po.
Thank you, Your Honor. I will follow your advice, Your Honor.
Ano kaya sa tingin nyo? Sa susunod na hearing, kailangan ba talagang umattend dyan ng mga vlogger na inimbitahan nila? Lalo na yung 40 vlogger? O kahit hindi man umabot ng ganun karaming vlogger na pumunta dyan, basta Duterte vloggers, kailangan ba nilang umattend dyan? Kagaya ngayon hindi naman sa hindi pumunta yung mga vlogger diyan na sabihin nating takot sila matapang lang sa pagbablog, tapos takot dyan na pumunta. Pag nandyan na kasi sa kamera, anong kalaban-laban nila dyan? Pagtatanungin sila, tapos yung sagot ay kailangan ng explanation. Tapos sasabihin lang, dapat yes or no lang ang sagot mo. Kung magkamali ka ng sagot, contempt na. May magagawa ba? May magagawa ba yung mga vlogger na yan kung gawin yan? Yun ang katanungan. Kaya hindi sila pumunta dyan dahil posible talagang mangyari. Walang kalaban-laban. Walang, kumbaga ganun kabilis lang na magpakulong ng tao ngayon. Hindi magustuhan yung sagot mo, kulong ang abutin mo.